are you? Everything fine?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm very excited to be back on tour and can't wait to jump in another tour and in another one.
It's always good to be back on tour now, right?
Yes, especially after a while with no tour, with few shows. I used to play at least 60, 70 shows or even more every year. But during the last years, for example, in 2020, I played, I think, 10 shows. And in 21, again, 10 shows. So
Yeah. It's still a very small number. Now, hopefully, you can raise that. Now, we talked the last time, we talked like 2 months ago about the Fallen Sanctuary.
Yes.
And now you have a new record coming out with a different band, with Virtual Symmetry. The album will be released on the 16th of September. And how have the reactions been so far?
Honestly, so far, all reactions are quite good from Germany, from Japan, because the album...
it's today in Japan, right? Released today in Japan?
I think yesterday, but yes, we received some promotional stuff today. Yes, probably yesterday. But especially from Japan, it was very cool. Received good feedback from Burn, Young Guitar, the biggest magazine there. I did a couple of interviews for Japan. Something good from Europe in general. We already did some interview also from US, and seems like is a big step for Virtual Symmetry, because basically is the first album released with a label worldwide. I mean, because we already released one album, the previous one in Japan through a label, but this one it will be released through the American company, the American label called Symmetry Records, the former label of Circus Maximus, Aiken. So we are quite positive, and this time, for the very first time for Virtual Symmetry, we'll go on tour, play 36 shows with Evergrey, and it will be the perfect position to push the promotion of the album.
And what can the fans expect from this album? Is it similar to what you've done in the past?
I think for sure there are some trademarks of the band. We are a prog metal band with proggy elements for sure, difficult parts, impossible parts to play or to sing. But yes, in every album we try to add something more, something different, something new. For this one, I can only talk about myself for sure, but I push some limits. For the very first time, we sang something in our native language, in Italian, and also we put tons of choirs here and there, but different choirs. I mean, different than Temperance or Fallen Sanctuary, because I used to record some AOR or metal choirs, and I think that we push the musical elements and a totally different kind of approach. I mean, about the choirs. Yes, but the trademark of Virtual Symmetry is prog metal, basically. For sure, we put some melodies here and there, more and more, but yes.
And maybe this album is more melodic than what you've done in the past.
Could be. Also because there are tons of big chorus here and there, very, very catchy, very melodic, but at the same time, it's prog metal, so you will be able to find some difficult stuff.
And as you said, there are tons of differences between Virtual Symmetry and your other bands, like Temperance and Fallen Sanctuary. Why did you decide to get involved in such a different project to what you are usually singing?
Honestly, I'm the singer of Virtual Symmetry since 2013 or 14.
Yeah, 12, 13, yeah.
And the thing is, I used to be a big prog metal fan. I have a tattoo with the Dream Theater logo.
Yeah.
I love tons of prog metal stuff, but I never had the chance to sing in as lead singer in a prog metal band. And back then we began to collaborate with Virtual Symmetry, some albums, some shows. And during these years, I think we built up a very great friendship between us. And for sure, in the last 2 years, also the drummer of Temperance joined the band, Alfonso. So it's a sort of family. Honestly, we have not such a goal, I don't know, we have to play 300 shows every year or something like that. We are great friends. We want to write great music, hopefully great music also for the other people, and that's it. And try to play as much as we can, but it's totally different than Temperance and Fallen Century. So after this tour, we have no big plan to play other 2 tours during the next year, for example.
Also because Virtual Symmetry started as a solo project of the guitar player, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now it's more. I think Virtual Symmetry is maybe bigger than the other band where the guitar player was before he started Virtual Symmetry.
Yeah. For sure. Also because we already had a chance to support big bands especially in Italy, and with this tour for sure. I think 50% of the band never played a show out of Italy or Switzerland. They didn't play in any tour so far.
Yeah.
So it will be a life experience, I think.
Also because of your voice, I think that's one of the trademarks of Virtual Symmetry throughout the years.
Could be. Thank you.
Now, did you have the chance to participate in the composition process for this album?
Basically, for every album, I wrote the vocal lines for every track. But for the very first time, for this album, I wrote, I think, 5 or 6 lyrics, because it was like, I had something to say after a while, and honestly, I think I'm not the best lyricist ever, but I'm trying to improve myself to do something better and better after.
Nothing better to improve than to make yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. Also with Temperance, honestly, I used to write 1 or 2 lyrics for every album, not more. But for this one, I was very inspired also by the music, because for sure I wrote all vocal lines, but especially for the opening track, the longest track, the title track of the album, we write the suite together, Valerio, the guitarist, Marco, the keyboard player, and me. Not only the vocal lines, but in the mood of the song, every kind of passage. And it was quite cool, honestly. And the lyrics-wise, I wrote, I think, 5 tracks.
Yeah, and that opening track of its Virtual Symmetry, its name, it's divided into 3 parts. It's in Amen, Dancing on Our Own, and Tainted by the Sky. Can we say that that song tells the story of evolution of the band? Because you say it started as a solo project, then you're Dancing on Your Own, and now you're Tainted by the Sky. It kind of fits.
It's a good way to see the track, honestly. Very cool. Thank you. But lyrical wise is a journey through, honestly, maybe will sound a little bit too much ego, but it's a sort of journey through myself, because it's a sort of aim to believe in yourself and discover your bad side, so your dark side, something like that, and you have to live with the good and the bad side. Honestly, this is the sense of the lyric. And sometimes you have to dance by your own, for sure.
Yes.
You are the only guy able to understand what's happening inside of you. But it's also a sort of seem to believe in yourself, and no matter what will happen outside, but you have to believe in what you will do.
I think you are capable of doing that. Yeah. And as you also said, this album includes, for the first time ever, a part that's sung in Italian, in your native language. Why did you decide to do that? Yeah, I think the song is Fantasy di Verità, right?
Yes, but also during the opening track, the end of the song.
Also something, yeah.
Yes, there is a small part with a sort of Gregorian choirs in Italian, and it's a sort of revelation for the main character of the song.
Like understanding that he has to believe in himself and on that.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know, because honestly, after the last things we did with Temperance, for example, Diamanti, I said, okay, seems like I really love to put some words in Italian here and there, also because it's my language, and honestly, my English sucks. And sometimes I can explain something better in Italian for sure. Yeah. It's quite strange because we used to hear metal music in English, or if you are from Germany, maybe in German with Rammstein, but in Italy, you cannot imagine a power metal track in Italian. It's strange.
Rhapsody tried it, but only in ballads. And honestly, it was really good. Those are my favorite ballads of Rhapsody. The ones that sung in Italian.
Al mio lamento eroico.
Yeah, those one, that one. And also Lucas really also tried it, like in the solo print. Yeah,
tried. But yes, they tried only. Maybe Rhapsody of Fire back then tried also with a metal track. Like that. Fire. I don't know. But yes, probably it's more for a ballad or a slowly.
Because it's also easier to express your feelings in your mother tongue than it is in English.
Sure, honestly, especially for Italian, because we are totally into our language. It's not like Germany or Scandinavia. They used to talk in English as child, but in Italy, especially back then, it was totally different. Maybe now it's different again, but yes, for that reason we decided to put some elements here and there, not an entire track. Maybe something will happen in the future, but when I wrote the lyric for Virtual Symmetry, the track, at the end I said, okay, we have to put something very huge here, something completely different to push the meaning of the song. So for that reason we decided to put some Italian elements in the Gregorian choir. And then when we wrote the lyrics for Fantasy di Verità, because I wrote the lyrics with Marco, the keyboard player, we said, okay, let's try to sing the chorus in Italian. Let's try and we will see. But I think it's work. So
it did work. And maybe a full song in the future, or maybe, I don't know, in the future, it might work. And also in the lyrical aspect, what does this album talk about? It's not a conceptual album, I see.
No, it's not a
different themes throughout the album too.
Yes, it's not a concept album at all. Also because we did already a couple of concept albums, and after 2 albums like that, we said, okay, we have to do something different. I mean, right now, probably in the next future, we will do again another concept album, but it's like this. And in Virtual Symmetry, in Come Alive, basically I talk about an introspective journey through myself, something like that. But there is another track called My Story Unfolds, and in my opinion, it's a very cool story. It's about this sort of fight between two scientists from the Second World War. Basically, it was the time with Heisenberg, with Heisenberg and Bohr, the guy from Germany, and it's a cool stuff. And
also, it's almost like a Sabaton themed song, you know.
Yes,
something
but
like that. Yeah.
in another way, because is my point of view about the spies, but I don't want to spoil too much. I think you have to read something here and there about their fight, and you will understand. It's a cool thing.
Yeah. And take your own personal opinion on that.
Yes,
perception.
I don't know, honestly. I don't know if my point of view will be the true or not.
But it's your point of view, it's your opinion.
Sure.
So,
Maybe someone will say, "No, Marco, you're wrong." Probably I will be wrong, but it's fine.
Now, moving on to your vocal performance, did you adopt any new technique on this album? You already said that you pushed the boundaries, but anything different from what you've done in the past?
Honestly, I'm keeping pushing myself to do something better, something different, try to use a different kind of voice, different kind of approach about vocals. The first thing is, as you already know, I'm not a fan of autotune Melodyne, so I'm trying to not abuse, to not use too much of this. For sure, nowadays you have to use it because everyone in the world is using it. So if you will not use this one, probably the rest of the world will say your vocal sucks. But yes, the only thing is that in virtual symmetry, then the difference between virtual symmetry and temperance, for example, is about the way to use the voice, because in the prog metal stuff, you have more chances, honestly, because you can push our voice extremely high. You can do something very theatrical or very low in your range, but also there are tons of funky stuff in the album, something very speed, and you have to
use your highs and
Yes, exactly. You have to be able to do like that, because basically your voice is not used to do something very, very fast, especially in English for me, honestly. So it was the most challenging part of the album.
Yeah, and this is one of your few projects where you only sing. In the majority of your projects, you sing and you play the guitar. Is that the reason why you only sing here? Because it's more challenging than temperance, for example?
I don't know. It's quite difficult because it's quite different. Sorry, because in temperance, for example, I wrote 99% of the music, not only the vocal lines. But with virtual symmetry, we have another guitarist, Valerio, and he's fucking better than me. Not already, and it's a good thing because during the instrumental parts, as James Labrie, I can rest a little bit. I can people. It's fine.
Yeah, it's completely different. It's no comparison possible. Yeah.
Sure. I can run on the stage with no guitar on me, so it's cool.
Yeah, and also maybe easier when you're live, not so many things to focus on.
It's true.
Yeah,
like especially during the instrumental parts, I can rest a little bit and concentrate about the next step.
Like what you said with the Fallen Sanctuary, that sometimes some songs it's hard to do both, to play the guitar and to sing. Yeah, this way it's...
Especially I have to sing, I have to play guitar, but I have to move. I have to move myself on stage because I don't want to stay in a single position. I want to run on stage when it's possible, for sure. So, yes.
Yeah, and now moving from Virtual Symmetry, in October you have a new EP coming out for Even Flow. It's Mediterranean, right? And what can you tell us about that release?
Honestly, not so much, because I record this EP. I think, I don't know, probably it was 2 years ago, something like that.
Really?
Now
Yeah.
I don't remember anything. But just kidding, for sure. The guys decide to release this EP just in the middle, because next year we'll release a new album. And it will be a prog metal album, a very cool one, honestly. Also, the mix is quite cool. But I decided to release something in the middle, because during the last 2 years until now, this project, this band, they're not playing, they're not doing any shows. So this is the reason that I think is a good EP to do something in the middle. And
like an interlude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And you've been extremely busy, like Fallen Sanctuary is just 1 year old. No, Temperance is just 1 year old. And then Fallen Sanctuary, 2 months old. Now Virtual Symmetry, Even Flow, new album with Even Flow next year. You've been really busy lately.
No, but there will be a lot of other things, honestly.
Yeah. How will you fit all those bands to tour with? I mean, it's not going to be easy. Yeah.
It's impossible. It's impossible. But this is the reason. With Virtual Symmetry, except this tour, we are not a touring band. So I think during 5 years, I played, I don't know, less than 20 shows with them. But with Temperance, for sure, Temperance is my main band. So we used to play tons of shows everywhere. With Fallen Sanctuary, hopefully we'll be able to play more and more next year. And that's it, because also with Even Flow, I can play 20 shows more. So it's more a project with me as guest singer, and we are good friends in this project. And
and those are the same guys from Wonders, right? I think also the brothers Lunezo.
The same guys, but about Wonders, they decide to involve Bob from Firewind, Bob Cazionis. I wrote the entire album with Pietro, the guitarist of Even Flow, because they're supposed to release a power metal album through Limb Music. And so we wrote the album together, not only vocal lines, lyrical wise, but musical wise. We wrote the album completely together. And I can tell you that next year, probably there will be a new Wonders too.
And another one, yeah.
Another one. I didn't wrote any song for this album. I'm only the guest singer. The other guys wrote the entire album, and that's it.
Yeah, and it sounds good. I think it's tomorrow that you have the release party for this Virtual Symmetry album. What do you have planned for that? Anything special?
Yes, but because we used to do a sort of release party for every album. But during the release of the album, we'll be already on tour, because the first show of the tour will be exactly on the release date of the album on September 16 in Netherlands, in Eindhoven. So we said, okay, we have to celebrate the album also in Italy, Switzerland, 1 week before. So it's fine, because we have already the CD, the merchandising, and tomorrow, I don't know when you will release this interview, but
probably on Monday, I think.
Okay, because the single will be out tomorrow, so the new single will be out tomorrow, so on Monday will be already online.
Okay, you already talked about your touring plans for this album with Evergrey, right? You're going through all Europe?
All Europe except Portugal, unfortunately. But yes, we'll play in England, Scotland, Ireland, France, Spain, Switzerland, Austria, Germany, Poland, Hungary, Slovenia, Belgium. So everywhere.
All Europe, yeah.
Yes. And it will be a cool one. It will be it will be a very busy month for us, because we will play 36 shows in 38 days. but it will be fantastic. Also because we'll meet tons of friends over all Europe in every country. So.
And you won't have much time to rest from your last temperance tour either. So you just got home and now you're going out again. Yeah.
It seems like it's like that.
Well, Marco, that's it. Thank you very much. Do you want to send any message to your Portuguese fans?
Honestly, we are still receiving, especially after the release of the Spanish tourist temperance, we released tons of message about it. Hey, but in Portugal, what about Portugal? Honestly, we tried to book Portugal for that tour, but at the end was not possible. So probably, hopefully, something will happen during summer 23, or even before, or during the fall 23 in Portugal. Because, as I said before, the Showlismo was one of the best show we ever did in Europe with temperance. So we really can't wait to come back there.
Yeah. All right. I hope you come soon. Thank you so much, Marco, again. It was an honor.
Thank you for your time. Take care.